Hi everyone, and happy Wine Wednesday. If you are new, I'm Allie from A Glass After Work. Thanks for joining. Today I wanted to share with you a wine that I think, or at least I'm hoping, is going to be a perfect wine for a cold winter night. I'm not sure where you are in the country. Here in DC, we are full on in the middle of an Arctic blast. Earlier this week, we were let out early from work on a 2-hour delay and the expectation of some snow. Then we were given a 3-hour delay coming into work with the expectation that the precipitation was going to then freeze because of the cold weather. Cold winds came in and the cold air came in, and we ended up with some weather that put us in the wind chill factor of -8 degrees. I know that that does not compare to what those of you out in the Midwest, I'm sorry if you are in Chicago or Minnesota or someplace like that. The idea of -50 something, I hope that you have something warm to drink. I hope you're inside and safe, and I'd love to hear how you're doing if you're out there. I'm definitely sending you some warm wishes your way. For me, this is going to hopefully be my warm wine on a cold winter night. This is the Légende Médoc. And this wine is from the Domaines Barones de Rotheschild. It's a Bordeaux blend of 60% Cab and 50% Merlot. I'm going to actually use my soiree. I will put a link down below on my video where I actually review this soiree. But for those of you like me who don't have a decanter, this is a great option for being able to quickly decant a wine that probably will need some decanting. My guess is that this wine will need some decanting, so we will just take a look at it through the lens of my soiree aerator. Let's take a look at the color. I mean, look at that dark, clear, ruby red color. It's a beautiful, beautiful color, nice and clear. And on the nose, there's a nice mix of characteristics. Definitely some dark fruit. I say dark cherries. I would say some dark cherries, maybe even dipped in a little bit of dark chocolate. Some vanilla and cinnamon. Also getting some cloves, and then some kind of earthy notes, and like sweet tobacco is also in there. So let's give it a taste. Cheers. Oh yeah, so definitely kind of in that medium to full-bodied wine. There's some nice kind of rich silky tannins, but they're not overwhelming. They're not going to be too much and too distracting. Definitely very similar palette to what's going on in the nose. Lots of those dark cherries, lots of that kind of earthy tobacco, tar, those kinds of notes mixed in with some of the baking spices. I think it's really nice. So this wine is a $25 bottle of wine. I did get it as a sample, but I think it's perfect for a good, like if you're trying to do like a little extra on a night after work or a weekend wine. For this really cold weather, I think this is going to be a nice warm your insides kind of wine. It'll go well with a warmer kind of wintry dish like a stew or lamb or something like that. Super Bowl Sunday is coming up. I think it would go really well with some nachos or some chili or some of those Super Bowl foods. Should you decide to serve a French wine at Super Bowl, I think folks would enjoy it. But really, I see this as a pour a glass, take my Afghan, my book, sit in front of a fire, and just kind of like curl up and relax type of wine. Yeah, it's really very nice. And just kind of as a little background, I don't know how familiar you are with the Domaines Barones de Rotheschild, but The Rothschild family owns some really prestigious wineries in Bordeaux, and their friends and families were kind of like, hey, you know, your wines are really great, but they're expensive. So what about making some more affordable everyday wines, which is how the Domaines Barones de Rotheschild wines were born. They kind of focus on four areas: the Bordeaux, Bordeaux Blanc, Medoc, and Pauillac. And the legend wines kind of fall into that kind of category, how that was all created. And obviously this wine is from Medoc, but there are a number of legend wines that are from those other areas, or white wines, red wines, but I haven't had a chance to taste those, and they do seem to range in price. The text sheets that I had said that there were some in the mid 30 range, but there were also some in the under $20 mark. This one happens to be in the $25 range. That said, I think it's actually totally worth $25, totally worth opening after work. You could serve it to company if you're having folks over for dinner on a Saturday night. I think you're going to really enjoy it. That's pretty much all I have for tonight, but I'd love to know, what are you drinking to stay warm? Are you sticking to red wine, or have you gone to something a little stronger? Let me know down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. If you aren't already a subscriber, you can do so by clicking on the caricature right here or on the subscribe button down below. But don't forget to also click on the bell. It'll let you know when I upload a new video, which is going to be every Wine Wednesday. And if you are looking for a recommendation, you can find one right there. Thanks a lot for joining me. Cheers.